December, when we're doing them. I am so excited that we're all on here and seeing, I love how big it's getting and all the new faces all the time. So Jill was kind enough to let us record. I know sometimes speakers don't want that. And so she already, everything she's going to train on, she already sent me. So I know that's going to be a question before we start or as she's going. Don't worry. When I have the recording, I will post that also. Now, hear my heart, sweet friends. You're all going to have to wait a hot minute. I know you all get anxious, usually 30 minutes after everyone's like, give me the recording. It will not be, just assume Monday. Just plan on I'm just going to start saying that. More than likely we'll be there before that, but let's just plan on Monday. Okay. That way it gives everyone plenty of time to get it done. And thank you for being patient in advance on that for every week for us. And it's just my office girl doesn't come in at the end of the week. She comes in the beginning of the week. And so she does all this for me. And it's just, yeah, how it works. So any Voxer group, any Facebook group that you learned about this on is probably where you'll find it again, the recording. But also the recording is on YouTube. And it's just Jennifer Enlow. That's my YouTube page. You can look at past ones if you're looking for any type of attachments or graphics or anything they had previously. You have to go to that Facebook page. Now, one thing you should also know, since you're new, many of you, the first, what was it, year and a half, maybe 2 years, we did not have a Facebook group. So some of them might not be on there, and I would love to be able to answer your question if you want a certain graphic or something. But if it was from 3 years ago, Lord girl, I can't. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. So just be gracious. Don't bombard our speakers asking for the information. I promise you, whatever they train on, I will put it on there with the recording, but give me till Monday. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have the amazing Jil Johnson from my home state. I'm so excited about that. And Jill, I just want you to know how much I love and appreciate you being willing. What you're about to train on is so go give in itself, but what you're doing for the Mary Kay world, because this is every division from ink being wet on the agreement all the way to national. Some of these people will take them and have them translated, and they go to different countries even. And so I just greatly appreciate you so much for your time and go give heart and feeding into the Mary Kay world the way you do. And I'm so blessed that Jolly got us connected to do that. So I'm going to let you take over. I'm going to run all the background stuff. And
okay.
Again, thank you so much, my sweet friend. I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I just have to say, Jennifer, I was serious when I said you're just a living legend because you're bringing so much information to so many people. And you literally are famous in the Mary Kay world. So thank you. I'm fairly new to this group, but I've been so impressed with the information that I have gotten from it. And I just hope that what I'm going to share today is going to be a blessing to other people. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how my journey started and how the Chemo-care kit, which are right here, began and why. So I actually began my Mary Kay journey in 1982. I was a newlywed. We'd been married about 6 months, and we celebrate our 43rd anniversary on Thanksgiving Day this year. So I'd still pick him. He's my favorite. And I was putting my husband through law school in Topeka, Kansas, and I was working as a dental hygienist. So I'm the girl that cleaned your teeth and you lied and said you flossed, and we know you don't. And, took the x-rays and all of that. That's what I did from 8 to 5 every day. And I came home from work in the spring and I thought, there's got to be something more than this. There just has to be something more, because he was going to be starting in August. And I'm like, oh gosh, I've got to find something. And then I remembered as a little girl, my mom was a Mary Kay customer. And some of you, if there's people here from Kansas and Missouri, you know who Judy Gertzner is. And Judy was my mother's Mary Kay consultant. And so every week, my mom was a piano teacher. And every week, Judy would bring her girls, Jill and Joni, to our house for piano lessons. And she drove up in a pink Cadillac. And that was all I knew. Okay. I knew my mom's skin looked really great. And I knew Judy had a pink Cadillac, and that was it. That was all I knew. Back in the 80s, they really weren't focusing on the 20 somethings for a client base. And so anyway, that was where I started. And I asked the ladies that I worked with if they knew anybody that sold Mary Kay. And as fate would have it, one of them had been to a Mary Kay party not too long before that. And the beauty consultant said, if you know anyone you think would be great doing Mary Kay, let me know. Well, that um, office mate gave me Bev's phone number, and I called Bev and I said these magic words. Hey, I think I might like to do this. Can you show me how it works? And so basically, I recruited myself.
Yeah.
And, Mary Kay has always said, bloom where you're planted. And another fateful thing that happened is I landed in the famous Sandy Griffith unit. And Sandy, I like to say, taught me everything I know. And they decided that it would be great if I hosted a party. And I'm really telling this story for the newer beauty consultants just to give you hope and faith, you know. Um, so I
Okay.
explained to them, I know four people in the capital city of Topeka, Kansas. I know four people. We hadn't lived there even a year yet. And I'm like, I don't know anybody. And they said, it'll be fine. Just invite everyone you know. I'm like, okay, that's four people. So I invited the neighbor on either side of me and the two ladies from the office. And they came. Bev started the class. And here's what I did. I was like the hostess you don't want to have. I'm like, okay. I went to every single one of them and I said, don't buy anything tonight because I think I'm going to do this. Don't buy anything tonight. And I said that four times around the table. And I'm pretty sure that Bev was wishing me to go mute so that could stop. She held a $7.50 skincare class that night. Now, I went into Mary Kay with no preconceived notion of knowing how to sell anything. And I sold everybody at that table not to buy anything. See, I was already selling and I didn't know it. And I wore very little makeup. I wore brown eyeshadow because I have brown hair and like a clear lip gloss. That was it, woo. And they taught me every step of the way what to do. So if you're new and you're scared and you have no sales background and you're not really a makeup maven and you don't know a lot of people, I was a poster child for that chick will never make it in this business. Okay, that was me 42 years ago. Okay, so I want to say that just to give you hope if you're new, or maybe you're not new and you just really are starting to rethink your Mary Kay connection and what you should do. Mary Kay said you don't fail until you quit, and so we're not going to quit, right? No, we're not going to quit. So I've come a very long way. And today, what I want to do is I want to tell you about my passion for the Chemo-care kits. And I'm going to tell you what I've learned. I've been doing this for 10 years and I have done it scared. And now I just do it with great joy and and passion. So 14 years ago last week, I lost my daddy to cancer. And he was always my biggest cheerleader. From the moment I signed my agreement and started Mary Kay, he was always like, when you get in that pink Cadillac, when you get in that pink Cadillac. I'm like, Daddy, I got to learn how to do it. Party first. And when we picked up our very first Cadillac, he got the first ride. We left everybody at the dealership and I put him in the car and off we went. And we went around the block, just he and I. And yeah, we might have cried a little bit. So he was my inspiration for doing this. I heard the idea of doing Chemo-care kits, and I really had to figure it out from top to bottom myself. Nobody really talked to me through it. And I have had a great conversation with the legal department at Mary Kay, and they have confirmed that I'm doing it, in their words, correctly. Thank you very much. And I'm going to pass that all on to you. What I'm going to ask you to do, if you want to do what I'm doing, I'm going to ask you to do it with integrity and honesty and a passion for serving others that are going through a really hard time right now. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. There is a wrong way to do Chemo-care kits, and we're not going to do that. I want you to do it right. And the people that you're gifting deserve that. And if you're not doing it right, well, Mary Kay will come and they'll close you down. So do it right. Do it right. Okay. So here's my process. Now, I'm hoping that you won't be confused. You might have to listen to this a couple times. But what I want to do is first, I'm going to show you what the Chemo-care kits look like. This is my big one. And she sells for $69, and I'm going to explain all of that. Okay, she sells for $69, and my little one sells for $33. And I sell far more of this one than I do this one, and I'll explain that in just a few minutes as well. But what we have is a form, and Jennifer already has this. She is going to post it for you. And we're all very proud of our kiddos, right? Well, I am too. I have a daughter who is an interior architect, and I put her through college with my Mary Kay business. And what she owes me is graphics anytime I ask. Yeah, she's good with that. So what she did for me, for you, is she gave you my graphic with just the basic words in here, not mine. I'm going to read them to you. And she's extracted my information so that you can use this as well. I will explain the pricing, but you need to know I live in central Kansas. If you put an X in the state of Kansas, I live right in the middle. And our town is about 14,000 people. And we have 2 Cadillac $500,000 and above directors in our town. We're a very pink town. We do not have a mall. Yeah, well, anyway, we have to drive about an hour and a half to get to a larger town to do mall events and stores. So anyway, we are the way to get cosmetics. And so in my community, my sales tax is 7.2%. I actually live in the country by a mile. So I like to tell people I live in the country, but it's 3 minutes to the Dairy Queen. So my tax rate that this has all been figured on is at 7.2%. So this number may not fit for you, and you will have to find someone who can remix these hearts for you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read this to you. My daughter, like I said, designed it, and it says, Chemo-care package, give the gift of caring. A common side effect of chemotherapy and radiation is extreme skin dryness. You may gift a Chemo-care package to a specific person that I deliver to. I don't give it to the people that are sponsoring, okay? Or they'll be donated to our local healthcare providers for distribution to patients undergoing treatment. For me, I have a cancer treatment center in my town, and so I deliver these every other month. I take 2 boxes of Chemo-care kits to them because they don't have room to store them. So I store them, and then I deliver every other month, and they deliver them to the patient. So going on, all proceeds from the sale of these bundles are to cover only the cost of the products described, the gift wrap, and tax. Your independent beauty consultant is waiving all profits from the sale of the Chemo-care packages. That's just the way I've worked it. Okay. I forfeit my profit, or I donate it. I guess I'm not forfeiting it, but I'm donating it back. Okay. And it finishes out with this. These are my stats. Since the start of my Chemo-care program in 2015, our efforts have blessed more than 1,100 people in Barton County, where I live. Thank you for making a difference in these patients' lives with a pampering bundle, Jill. And right now, we have actually exceeded 1,400 in the 2024 year of what I've worked on this year. And so what I did is I talked with my cancer treatment center in January. And I said, tell me, how many patients are you guys bringing through, on a monthly average? And they told me they see roughly 40 new patients every month. And I was stunned by that because last year we sold a little over 200 sets. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't even gotten half of the patients. This is horrible. And so in January, I set a goal to see if we could go over 400 kits sponsored this year. And right at the moment, we're sitting at 300. And so I'm working through December to see if we can get a total of 400, which will be delivered throughout the 2025 year, is how that is going to work. So I have 2 sets. Let me explain what's in them. This is the hydrating bundle, is what I call it. It has the infamous extra emollient night cream. It is an emulsifier. It holds the moisture to the skin. Okay, it forces our skin to take that drink. And it really helps with the individuals that are undergoing treatment. There is the Nourishing Shea Cream, and I do a variety of the scents. Okay. And then there is the satin lip set. And we all know the impact of that satin lip set is wonderful. Well, their lips dry out as well. And you might be thinking, well, do men get this? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they're all good. So that one I retail, that's funny. I sell for 33, and there is $52 in retail product inside. Okay. The next set is what I call the super bundle. And the super bundle contains a lip balm, not the whole set, but the lip balm and intense moisturizing cream down here. Always the extra emollient night cream, the hydrating lotion, and the 2-in-1 wash and shave. And these are really in honor of one of my girlfriends, Vicki Fisher. She lost her sister to cancer many years ago. And the only shower products that she could tolerate were these 2 products. So I put them in my bundle in honor of Vicki's sister. Okay. And then always a hand cream. Okay. So that's what I've elected to put in my bundles. Those bundles have stayed like this for the last 10 years. Okay. Now, what are the things that you need to know that are on the rest of this sheet? Now, you can see that it's pink, so that's subliminal. But according to legal, I can't have the words Mary Kay anywhere on this, which also means I can't have my email address. Okay. So this says Jil Johnson, Independent Sales Director. And to order, call or text my phone number down here. It says cash, check, or debit cards accepted. A $2.50 convenience fee added for credit or debit card purchases. Now, next year I am going to up that because the rates have fluctuated, and so I'm not making any profit, so I'm covering my costs on that. So that's what the flyer looks like, and that is available to you. You can take it, but please do not put the words Mary Kay down in your bundle description here. No words of Mary Kay. That makes legal happy, and it's important to keep legal happy. Would you all agree? Okay, so I guess the thing that you need to see is every single Chemo-care kit has a thank you card on the back, and we designed the thank you card. There is a spot down here for my sponsors' business cards. Okay, and so this says Chemo-care kit. This Chemo-care package has been designed to address the dry skin you may be experiencing through treatments. For best results, use the night cream. Please apply it to damp, not wet skin. If you have questions, please refer to the contact information on the back or your personal MK consultant. Your Chemo-care package was sponsored by, and then there's a spot for their business card, but I have a large contingent of sponsors who at this point just say, Jill, I want to be anonymous. Like, okay. And for those, I put your Chemo-care package was donated anonymously by a Barton County business. Friends in your community care about you. And then I have a scripture. It is Joshua 1:9, and it says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So this is what a cancer treatment patient in our community gets the very first time they go in to receive treatment. They get this package or the bigger package. I take these in, the nursing staff just distributes them. I've maybe had a couple different times that I brought packages in and they've said, hey, we've got some people that we're going to give sets to. Do you want to give it to them? And I'm like, yes. With all the HIPAA laws, I was just really impressed that they let me go in and present it. And it was wonderful. What I can tell you is that over the years, I have a file full of thank you cards from patients that received the Chemo-care kit. It is definitely a paycheck of the heart, as Mary Kay Ash would say. So, all right, you ready to figure out how we do this? That's what happens, but this is how we're going to do it. So, I figured out after about year 2 or 3 that I needed to keep track of everything. Okay. I'm naturally a high I. So organization is forced. Okay. And it's good. So what I do, it's very simple, you guys. I take a little notebook and I don't know if you can see it, but I have columns. This column is the name of the office that's sponsored. And then I have an A up here for anonymous, so that if they're anonymous, I put an A in that column, and so on. Let me flip to this fall. Okay. And then there is a spot for overpayment because I have a lot of offices that just hand me a check for $150, $200, and they say, just get what you can. And so I figure it out. And then like this office overpaid by $15 and one over by 5 and 6 and 2 and 23. And so I build additional Chemo-care kits with that overage, and those are given away anonymously. Okay. Then I have a $33 column, a $69 column, and that oh so favorite paid. Okay. I don't order anything until they're paid. You can tell me all day long, I'm going to order 10 and you might forget to send me a check. So I'm not ordering anything until I see the money. Show me the money, as they say in the movies. Okay. So that's how I track it, but it took me a long time to figure that out. So I just want to give you the things that I've learned along the way so that you don't have to figure it out. Okay. For my fall 2024, there is $52 worth of retail product here. That equals $26 wholesale. And my tax is $3.90. And I'm incorporating $3 in for packaging, printing, postage, which I'll explain in a minute. I don't mail these, I mail thank you notes. And it came to $32.90. I rolled it up to 33. And that's what I charge for the kits, if that makes sense. I just do a flat $3 after I put in all my costs of different things. And that's what I do. You do you. Okay. And this is what's working for me. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. This is how I organize it. The other thing about having this little notebook, it goes with me when I'm going into town. And what I have discovered over the years is when I go in, and I'm going to explain my path, but when I go into an office, they'll say, how many did I do last year? And I just flip into the book and I'm like, last year you did 6. Okay, we'll do that again. Okay. All right. So here's what I do. I have a legal size pad that I write down everybody I do business with. Okay. Everybody that I do business with. And then I just start going in. And what I do is I have a file like this. If you went to seminar years ago, we used to get files like this, and I put my flyers in there, and there's also self-addressed envelopes so that they can mail me a check. I also take business cards and make sure you have Mary Kay pen. And there are sales tickets and paper clips. Okay, I'm telling you everything. All right, so I go in and I ask for the manager. and we're going to say Jennifer's our manager. And I walk in, yesterday I walked into a couple of CPA offices, and, most people in town know who I am. But, I walked in and I said, hi, my name's Jill and I'm with Mary Kay. And I hand the office person my card and I say, do y'all have an office manager I could talk to? And they get me to someone. Okay. And then I just say, I wanted to come in and talk to you. For the last 10 years, I have done a Chemo-care program here in Martin County. Have you heard of it? I said that a week or so ago to a lady, and she started crying. Her mother got one of my Chemo-care kits. She's a bank manager, and her mother got it, and she did sadly pass away about 5 years ago now. And she just grabbed my hand, and we just sat and cried together. That was pretty amazing. And so you never know what you're going to run into. But I just tell them I have this program. At the same time, I'm sliding this paper across the desk to them. They're looking at it, and I say, here's what I do. I partner with businesses, small businesses in our community. And if you choose that you want to sponsor a Chemo-care kit for a patient right here in Barton County, then I make it look cute. And I deliver it to the cancer treatment center. The nurses are going to deliver it, and you sponsored it. So it takes three of us. It's a partnership of the three of us to make this happen. And if this is something that works in your budget for giving this year, I would love you to consider being a part of it. That's what I say. That's all I say. And I answer questions, and I am not pushy. Not pushy. Pushing gets you nowhere. Okay. And if I'm like, if you need to think about it, we can do that. Here's an envelope. You can just send me a check made out to me and include the number of Chemo-care kits that you're going to do, include that many business cards so you can get, so that the recipient knows you're the one that sponsored that. Would you do that for me, please? And they do. When I leave, I have one of these, and I give a hand cream out to every woman I can find in the office. Okay. Yeah. And they have my reorder label on them. So, you never know where you're going to find customers. So, let's see, ask for referrals, go to places that scare you a little bit, because you'll be amazed. I went into two large facilities here in our community separately, and they each handed me a check for $500. I almost fell to the ground. They sponsored 15 kits. That's kind of big. That's kind of big. That's a lot of money. I wasn't expecting that. Up until that point, people were doing 1 to 5. And when I go in, I'll say, whether you sponsor 1 or you sponsor 100. Well, if you sponsor 100, you're going to have to come out and help me make them look cute. Okay. Because it is time consuming. And, they'll always laugh, but I think that helped broaden people's, well, I'll do 20. I think that helped broaden people's thoughts on that. Okay. So let me just quickly wrap this up with what I do when I come back to my office. Okay. Well, number one, I fill everything out in my notebook. Did they pay? And this is actually an office that just came into me. I make sure that my sales ticket's completely filled out with what they did, their name, their address, the date, and then I paper clip. This gal did one. Okay. Never got in there before. I put her business card with it. And the thing that you will be happy about is I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought Dollar Tree cards. Okay. And I put her address on the card right away because I found I hated writing those. Okay. So I do them as they come in. So it's not as daunting when I actually sit down to write the thank you note. I'm going to tell you what my thank you note said. The thank you note from last year said, thank you for your support of my Chemo-care program. This year, 204 people right here in Barton County were gifted. Since 2015, our efforts have blessed over 1,000 people. Your generosity is appreciated. Thank you again, Jil Johnson. And I didn't do that for probably my first 4 or 5 years. I don't know why, but I've done it going forward. And here's what happens is I go into offices that I've been to for 10 years, and ladies, I walk into the office and many of them go, oh, is it Chemo-care time? And that's how they sound. And I'm like, yes, it is. And it's so funny because so many of them, they're reaching into their desk for their checkbooks. And I don't even have to say anything. I just sit down, start writing out the sales receipt. And, that's kind of a cool thing. Um, I do have a letter that I devised. I'm not going to read it to you, but for offices that like it's just the secretary, but I missed the manager that I always talk to, and I have a sorry I missed you letter and instructions, and I leave that with an envelope, and I leave it with my letter. So I kind of learned to cover all the bases. So you're going, well, Jill, if you're not making any money doing this, why do I want to do it? Well, number one, I'm doing it for my daddy. Okay. Number two, I always tell people you don't want to receive one of my Chemo-care kits. Okay. So I'm trying to store up some goodness so that I never get one of my Chemo-care kits. But if you're somebody who wants to be a star consultant, this is going to get you to star consultant. If you're somebody who wants to be on National Court of Sales, I can tell you I am $5,000 wholesale from National Court of Sales right now. This is the earliest I've ever done that. But with the efforts that I have done in 2024, it has wholesaled $7,753. That's quite a bit for National Court. It's quite a bit for Star Consultant. So that's my payoff. Okay. As a sales director, you are paid on the orders that go in as wholesale into your unit, and I am a consultant in my unit, so I do get a commission. But my husband and I do also donate to the Chemo-care kits as well. So that's kind of what's in it for you. That's something for you to think about. Gosh, right at the moment we're sitting right at 300, and Jennifer, do you have questions? I think that's it.
A couple did ask questions. I'm gonna ask them. It said, how do you get
Okay.
your companies to buy from you without them asking for a receipt for a
Oh,
tax?
they get a pink ticket and they have their canceled check. And that's all I do.
Okay. Let me see what the other one. You send thank yous to every contributor at the end of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. The people that donated, I did a program in January and February with my church, and they did over 106 sets. And I sent the thank yous to those people already because the whole year is really too long. But I started doing this in September. And so since September, we've done a lot. And this, I go out to small businesses, and listen, I pray before I go. And, it's like, God, show me the people you want me to work with today. And I had gone by a insurance company that I was not their client. And every time I went by, it was like, you should turn in and you should turn in. I'm like, no, I don't even know. If he opened the door, I would know he was the owner. And one day I'm like, okay, God, okay, I'll obey. And so I pulled in, went in, introduced myself. And the gentleman that owns the company in about 20 minutes wrote me a check for over $300 because he wanted to support this.
Mhm.
God knows where you should go. Don't argue with him. I argued on that one and I can not argue anymore.
Now,
Okay.
Jill, your book that you said you kind of keep your tracking notebook, did you take a picture of that or anything, or did you already send me what goes in there?
I didn't. I can type that out and send it to you. I'd rather not send a picture because it does have all the offices' names. I'd rather not.
Oh, I didn't know if you had some blank ones, like extra pages that you haven't written in.
No,
Okay.
no, Jennifer, really, I am old school. I took a ruler and I made a line.
Okay.
But I'll put what the columns are. I check that I've done a thank you, and I don't do the thank yous till I'm done and I know the total number of patients that we impacted. So I don't do the thank you till then, but I have a thank you column, an anonymous column so that I know that I'm not looking for a business card. Okay. And then I have an overpayment column because they've taught me over the years that
Mhm.
they're just, some offices write me a check for three of these, three times 33 is 99, and they'll write me a check for 100. Well, I track that silly dollar, and I eventually can fund another one. Okay.
Right.
Then I have 33, 69, and a paid column. And on the very back, I did this year. I have for 2024, I have ordered, and I put my ordering date, how many of which sets I ordered, what the total cost of the order was, and what the wholesale was. And that's probably the smartest thing I've done in 10 years, honestly, because I can account for every penny, and I know how much I have left. Okay. Is that
Okay.
helpful?
Yes, your next question is do you type up a thank you and then just stick it in a thank you card? So you can
No,
write that.
no. I handwrite them. We turn on a movie, and I sit at the end of our island, and I write,
The
"Dear
same.
Jim,
Yeah.
blah blah blah." It's all handwritten,
I
and
love
I will do multiple a night. I don't do that during people time,
it.
but I think a handwritten note is better than a typed out note. I argue with myself about that, but at the end of the day, I think a handwritten note. And I mean, the doors are just flung open when I walk in to repeat businesses. And I just really have to think that the thank you note is the biggest part of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's incredible. For
Yeah.
everybody posted in here, it is recorded. Wherever you found out about joining this is where you'll, by Monday, not today. You're not going to blow up Jill's Facebook feed. You're not going to do, we're going to be big girls. We're going to hang tight for the recording and all the things she's sharing with us so lovingly and go givish. And I'm going to post that in a Lunch and Learn Facebook group. And the Voxer groups or any group I'm part of that is probably how you learn about this call. So just bear with us because I know, like many of you, I will probably watch and listen to this multiple times because I know sometimes we gotta, do that. There's a lot on that. Shar, do you give them tax info? Yeah, she gives them our sales receipt. They have their canceled check and our receipt from our sales ticket, which she collects.
And that's it. These two documents are what I sent Jennifer. That's what she's going to post, the thank you card that Lindsay designed, and this, but she's just extracted my personal information off of it so that you can utilize it. You can find somebody who can change the PDF for
Mhm.
you. It's not my skill. I sent her to school to learn how to do that. So
Yeah, pay for it in other ways. That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah.
amazing. Well, so everyone just hang tight with us. I promise the Facebook group it's literally an old vintage picture of Mary Kay Ash in a red dress. It says Lunch and Learns, and it has an S on the end, so that way it'd be easy to find. We will accept you. I will post in there by Monday. Give us till Monday. Everybody heard that? Okay. I love your faces so much. And thank you in advance for being so patient for that. And I just I know our speakers get bombarded. I get bombarded. So I just ask that they gave their time today that we try not to do that because I promise you I will get it out there. I promise, promise, promise. So anybody have any other questions? You can unmute real quick or anything they want to say to Jill. And Jill, thank you again. This is incredible. I love the detail. I'm old school like that. Yes, I love the notebook. That's why I was asking. Like, I want to know that because I do things. So, okay, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, Jolly.
I love your heart so much. And I just want to cry. I love that you do this for so many people and that you also share it with so many people. And I thank you.
Yeah.
Love you, friend.
So incredible. I love it so very much. And Char, thank you for putting that in the chat. I appreciate you doing that.
Hi, can you hear me? This is Miss Anya Cresswell.
Yes.
I I love that you're doing this. I'm going to incorporate it into my business. I do prayer and meditation at the Cancer Medical Center here in the beautiful city of Antioch, California. And so I'm going to incorporate this as well and bring this to the cancer center. I go in there and I talk with them and I pray with them. So this just is in total alignment
Oh, good,
What
good.
I'm doing because I wanted to incorporate it. And I've had people say they do something, cancer stuff with Mary Kay. And I said, well, what is it that you're doing? I've never gotten an answer. So today my prayer has been answered. So you are an answer.
Good,
So I want
good.
to tell you, thank you so very much. Know that Miss I
Welcome.
is incorporating this all the way in California. The
Oh,
Yay.
area of California, and I will be posting it up. And thank you so much for creating this whole thing that you're going to be doing every week. I appreciate it. I love all your stuff that you put on there. My intention is to keep up with her posts and stuff that she makes and repost it. But thank you so very much. I don't want to get too lengthy because when we Mary Kay ladies, we could talk. I love
Can't we?
Yes, I love our sisterhood. Don't even get me started about our sisterhood. I love our sister. Thank you very much.
yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I love this because this is another way for us to be able to use our business to pay it forward. I feel like, and I know a lot of people do the gift of grants and nursing homes and do all the things like that. And we've been given a gift to not just pamper women and enrich their lives, but
Mhm.
also people that don't even realize they need it or even know we could. And so it's incredible. Thank you all so much for being on today and supporting Jill and supporting this Lunch and Learns. We're going to keep them going until y'all tell me you're sick of them. I'll just keep figuring it out, right? And so have an incredible, incredible Thursday. We'll be back here next Thursday. I know many of you have asked about Kay. She's going to do the color draping, not next week, but the following week. Some of you were asking me about that. So we have lots. We've just been so blessed with amazing women like Jill who are willing to share. And so thank you so much for everyone joining today and have an amazing Thursday.
Enjoy the snow.
Yes,
Bye.
we will enjoy the snow. You guys have a blessed one. Thank you, Miss Jill.